Welcome back, Muffy Mafia. Hope you are all doing well. I have got quite a few install videos down the line coming up, and today is not going to be any different. As many of you know, I have re-geared the Tacoma with a set of Yukon 529s. I definitely want to make sure that I'm giving them the best chance for that longevity that comes along with re-gearing. As we all know, the rear differential does not have the best breathing apparatus, so we're going to make sure that it's getting plenty of clean air, and we're going to be doing that with the ARB Differential Breather Kit. Let's get into this install. Now let's go over what you get in the kit. So what you end up getting is you do get your little manifold here. It does have 4 holes, or at least 2 holes that go all the way through. And then you've also got 2 mounting holes on either side. You're going to get a set of hardware. This includes 2 self-tapping screws. You've got 3 caps, and then you have 4 of the hose connecting ends. You do have a big length of plastic tubing, and then you'll get a pack of zip ties. And then last but not least, you get kind of, not necessarily instructions, but a book or a fold-out piece of paper that have a little bit of instructions on how to assemble the manifold. So next up is trying to decide where you want to mount this setup. Now there are several different variations on where you can mount this particular setup. Some people will actually go in through the gas cap and just kind of put a little spot up there. I am choosing this other option where I will be mounting it back behind the tail light. All right, we'll start by removing the tail light. We'll just move that out of the way for now. All right, now that we have the tail light off, we're going to take the manifold and we're going to mount it up as high as it can go while we're able to reach it with the drill and the self-tapping screws. And that will also give us enough room to clear the tail light housing as we install this. All right, now that I have got the manifold where I want it mounted, now we can take it off. The holes are already drilled, ready to go back for reinstallation, but now I need to pull that manifold off and plug up some of the holes and also attach the hose receiver. Now that we're ready for the manifold to be set up, the center hole is where the air filter is going to go. And we also are given 4 of these kind of air tube receptacles or plugs that do screw in to each of these outside contact points. This will give us several options if we need to run air hoses to anything else for the filter, but we also have these caps so we can plug up the holes that we're not using. So we'll go ahead and screw those on, make sure those are all capped off. So if it's being mounted this way on the truck, I'm going to run my hose here with one of the air adapters. So it does come with some nice little sealant on there. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up using a 13 millimeter to just kind of work that into the manifold. Now this is all ready, so we can run our air hose here all the way down to the diff breather. Here we are underneath the truck, and on the driver's side next to my brake lines, you'll see the diff breather, which is right there. And we need to remove that. That is a 14 millimeter. All right, we've swapped out the stock diff breather for the new ARB plug. Now the cool thing with this is that this little top half pushes down, so that way you can put the air hose into it, and once it pops back up, then that locks that into place. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and mount the manifold up and run the air hose down through the holes and connect it down here last, so that way we know we have enough air hose and play in there, so when we are flexing down here, we're not stressing that air hose out. All right, now that I have the manifold reinstalled, next up, we can go ahead and start fishing our air hose down to the diff. Now I plan on hooking the air hose here, and then I'll run it down through this opening here and fishing it down the rest of the way so it connects into the diff. And then we can tidy it up with some zip ties, and so that way we can make sure that we clear it and have enough flex in the air hose for those off-road adventures. Now I'm going to take you on a journey of the air hose, or the breather differential hose. And as you can see, it's coming out of that hole, and I kind of have it loose around here, and I'm actually going up and through this little space here between the bed and the frame. And as we come up underneath, you'll see that I do have a bit of the hose kind of coiled up right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up zip tying this bundle to this wire harness, both there and down there. I'm going to zip tie this hose to this kind of frame here. And what I've done is I'm not using all of that hose that came with this kit, so I have cut it off. What I've done is I've measured, given myself enough slack so that way I can hook it up to the differential right there and allow for any sort of flexing when this side of the axle dips down. Then that air hose has enough flex in it so that way it stays connected. All right, just to show you kind of the finished setup here on how I have it, I do have it plugged into the rear diff plug there. I have it running all the way up past these extended brake lines, so here you can see kind of all the play. This last hose area here is not connected to the main loop that I have here. Just kind of secured those, zip tied it here loose so it still has some play and a little bit of give if it needs to. Zip tied that right there, and then that just kind of gives some extra flexibility all the way up to the manifold. So that is fully set up now. To give you a good view of the rear diff hose connection, and we are just about done. Got to put the tail light back on and we are finished. All right, so next up I'm just going to get this lined up and pushed up in there. Make sure that I push it all the way up as far as it'll go before it'll stop, and that is now connected. If you need to make any adjustments, you can actually just push up on this tab and the air hose comes right out. So I'm just going to flip this to the other side of this electrical wire and then reconnect it. Make sure it's all the way up there. And I like that. Now we can install the air filter. And my ARB is going to be upside down, but that's okay. Now we can check to make sure we have got enough clearance, which we should. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this install on the ARB Differential Breather Kit. Hope you did enjoy this video. One of the reasons why you might consider this is simply because this is your stock breather kit. Now, one of the reasons why you might want to upgrade to this breather kit is so you don't suck up any bad water and get contaminants in that differential oil that will really gum up and shorten the lifespan of your gears and that differential oil. Now, I will leave a link down in the description box below where you can pick up the ARB Differential Breather Kit, and I will also have it over on mumphy.us/mods, where I keep a continuous list of all the mods that I have on my Tacoma, including all the accessories. So be sure to check that out. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications for more videos like this. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.
Perfect.